Oh, I'm not done talking about BOARDCLEARs.
This is the most insane laser obstacle ever created.
And this is just one of many dangerous and
extreme cards that have been printed in this game that I can't stand, bro. There's there's destroy effects. I imagine destroy all minions. These are pretty rare, but we're gonna look into everything. Actually, it doesn't show the Sargeras or whatever the Titan is for Warlock. At least it shows Doomsayer. The coolest BOARDCLEAR ever, because it sucks. Yeah, we're gonna talk about BOARDCLEARs, and we're gonna look at the entire history of BOARDCLEARs. Because I wanna know. I wanna see. This ain't a BOARDCLEAR, my friends. This is a legit card. Which is why, well, I do have a BOARDCLEAR idea, icon. I will use it a little bit, but like extensively, where it deals like 8 damage to the board. 5 damage, even 3 damage is like very exclusive effect. That I even though my game only can hold like 5 minions on the board, I'm still too scared. Now I'm traumatized by Hearthstone forever. So I use this, the split damage effect, which is so much cooler. You just like choose how much damage you want to split and do that. And if you want to target minions, then you do that. Somehow Blizzard like things that dealing 3 damage to everything is kind of like 5 damage effect. It's just like a 5 damage. You hitting 3 minions on average. It's not 5 damage, Blizzard. Yet they think that this 4-drop, this 4-drop that the Plague Knight has, you know, it's just like, it's dealing like 6 damage, like, I don't know, like 7 damage to things. It's 9 though, and 9 is just the average. You're waiting, you're juicing up the board until you just annihilating everything. You are sacrificing a plague, and you have to generate a plague. So this is probably not the worst offender, but it's out there. For first time in forever, by the way, they have nerfed a BOARDCLEAR. And I had to disenchant it. That is, I don't remember a BOARDCLEAR getting nerfed, my friends. I do not remember that time where they realized, oh shit, this card is being played so often. How could we have possibly printed this card out, bro? I did not see that coming. Prison Breaker is just an anomaly in the game right now, forever. It broke the prison, you know, of the stupidity of Blizzard printing BOARDCLEARs left and right. So I do have to like save this in my memory. This has never been done before. The reason why I'm showing the obstacle course that Mr. Beast just flashed in the recent upload is because it's so reminiscent. You know, the more people you have, the more shit you throw at your opponent, they're just gonna turn on lasers and eliminate a percentage of your minions. So it's almost like it's irrelevant to play them. And sometimes all of them are gonna be eliminated if these lasers are not even fairly designed. You know, if they're just like specially designed to eliminate all the shit that you have played by default. So let's explore. Let's go back to the very beginning and see the scariest thing, because holy shit, it's November. You know, we hitting that sweet spot of the most horrifying thing. So, yeah. Close. Maybe you should click away, because this is going to be fucking scary episode. To all minions, bro. Let's discuss all the BOARDCLEARs that has been printed. Going back to the very beginning of the game. At the same time, I will be trying to tell what the power level of the cards are. BOARDCLEAR dealing 1 damage to everything, technically is like 60% effective because you don't want to destroy your own minions. Dealing 1 damage to all the enemies is, well, 100% effective, and you're dealing around 3 damage. I'll take 3 minions as the average that you are trying to remove. But saying that, it still feels wrong, because like on average, like waiting, you want to wait until you use a BOARDCLEAR. You want to be patient, but there's so many BOARDCLEARs now that, well, I guess it's a 3. I guess we have to just play around them by default, which is the stupidest thing. Like, this is the only mechanic in the game that we have to actively play around if we want to win. There's nothing else, boys, besides removals. This is just the worst one. That you have to always keep in your mind of like, well, can they do swipe? Can they do starfall? Can they do all these things? Do they have that? Do they have this, bro? Do they have equality consecrate in their fucking hand? You just have to fucking bleed yourself. And just insanity. Just your brain cells start evaporating because of these cards. And it's a thumbs up moment when you can actually figure out how to break through that prison. You know, it's absolutely. This is absolutely the greatest meme. So yeah, swipe is actually a super notorious card. It has been for a long time played. It's no longer available. It still would be played to this day. Like, can you imagine a card like Druid doesn't have BOARDCLEARs anymore. Druid just, I play Druid. I enjoy it because I don't intend to just like spam shit like this. But yeah, it would still be played. You just bump it with some spell damage and you have a decent BOARDCLEAR. And where you can just swipe face because it has reach as well. Reach is like, you know, 2 points of tempo, and then you have the flexibility of that. Meaning that you're sort of dealing like 6 damage and getting 2 points of reach. Very interesting. We will also look into the destroy effects, but separately. And right now we need a leaderboard. Of course, I'm just not gonna name the expansions. I'm just gonna, well, I can sort of do it. Legacy, we have swipe, which is 6 points, plus 2, giving us 8 points of tempo. That's a 4-drop, my friends. Again, you have to play around it. You kind of have to puzzle yourself a little bit. That's cool. I understand that. But when the BOARDCLEARs get out of control, you just forget about that they exist. You just give up. If you give up, the mechanic doesn't fucking work anymore. You know. So that's the pain. That's the pain we're struggling with. Right now, like, how much this would deal? It probably would deal 4 damage to everything. Well, you know, Blizzard is, you know, gonna have to kick Druid in the balls and just deal 3 damage instead. We're gonna find some really bizarre things when we're looking through these cards. I'll tell you that much. Something that's just not supposed to exist. Because it's still 60% effective if you just obliterate your opponent's board instead. Especially if you have mana left over to do stuff for yourself. It's 60% effective because the whole time you're just like slacking on purpose. You're waiting for your opponent to commit a little bit more and more each time until you just wipe the entire board with one of those. Oh look, it doesn't exist. Twisting Nether was not a part of the core set, which is actually surprising to me. Some of these cards also have been changed and buffed, which is very difficult to keep track of all the changes, but I sort of remember them, because why not remember the most scariest thing in the game? With this, you can choose the choose effect. Oh, I don't care that much because you would never choose the 5 damage, but it does give you like some flexibility. I'll give 1 point for that, and you know, it's not a dead card even if there's just one target on the board. So I'll give it a 7, but you know. We need to separate these just to general numbers. We'll put it down. I should be dividing this by the mana cost, but like whatever, it's too complicated. This one, I mean, it's the scariest trap. Everyone says, is it going to be explosive this time or that time or this time, or is it explosive now? Is everything destroyed? Sometimes you don't even attack with your minions anymore because you feel like you can bluff with this card. Like, what the fuck is this card, bro? It created so much pain and suffering. It's just 2 damage to your enemies, bro. What the fuck? So, because it's so cheap, you know, I'll have to give a bonus points for like cheap spells and then minus points for expensive. At 5 mana, it's getting pretty fucking weird to deal 2 damage. So I'm gonna take him down. This one, because you control how you attack with your minions, but it's so cheap, like it's just gonna be stick with 6. 6 is the norm. We have a 3. It's a little bit of an expensive 3, but whatever. A 3 Blizzard. I'll tell you that much. The most amazing pun of all time. I hate Blizzard. We all fucking hate Blizzard. They don't let us attack with our minions because minions don't survive. But this is just a, you know, just a meme way to not let you attack with minions, because it's like a reminiscent of like, hey guys, you want to see the future? The future is everyone has 5 blizzards in their hand. It's like, fuck you, Blizzard. Fuck you, okay? Everyone has it. Like last video I made, I couldn't attack with minions. I couldn't buff the minion that I want. Obviously it was a big ass threat, but like I couldn't even do it though. So it was a kind of a meme moment, I'm not gonna lie, where everything dies all the time, no matter what I play. Blizzard, fantastic, bro. Not letting your opponent to attack with creatures, it's not really that strong. But after you gain 6 points of tempo, you're also technically like healing yourself or avoiding damage that you would receive otherwise. And that is worth something. Well, that is worth like 3 mana. Yeah. 3 mana is 4 points of tempo. Because it's a combined effect. I'm not gonna like dissect the freeze effect because it's too complicated. But we just kind of know how much it's worth. I'll give it 4 points of tempo, 10. That's a 10. Alright. And we're definitely not bumping it down because of the mana cost, because these combined effects, they're both valuable at the same time. Flame Strike, it went from 4 to 5. Now, how do we evaluate if the card has been, you know, buffed? I feel like we evaluate the old school version of the card, how it used to be. So, this used to be 12. Alright, cool. And it just gave me nightmares. However, things accelerate exponentially. Dealing 2 damage to the board is cool, but it's not going to kill most of the minions. Most things going to walk away free. Dealing 4 damage and having a pink hero power, nah, that was a fucking nightmare. Especially in arena. So things have to like grow exponentially. In fact, the more minions we touch, like, the better. The more things we kill, the more likely. So we have to evaluate BOARDCLEARs a little bit differently. Okay, 2 damage is gonna be 6. It's gonna be just generic. 3 damage is gonna be 10. Now we're killing something. Now we're healing ourselves. In fact, this should be 11 instead of 9. 4 damage. Now we're definitely killing like 2 minions at the same time. So starting at 12, but now we're just kind of healing for like, I don't know, a bunch, like 10 points. No? We stick at 16. 5 damage. And hopefully we don't go above 5 damage, right? Now things get weird because like on average a minion is not going to be above 4 damage. This is just a generic minion of 4/4, right? 5/5 now kind of is at 13. But if we kill a bunch of 5/5s, or 2 of them, well, we healed even more. And yeah, at this point things break down and then all minions get deleted. And all minions is a lot of tempo. Ridiculous amount of tempo. I have to say 25, but it's even more because you're sort of like, you're obligated to play around this. You have to play around Brawl, and playing around stuff makes things very complicated. But, yeah, maybe it's 25 because like 25 is gonna kick the shit out of you. If you're dealing with 25 points of tempo on the board constantly, it's gonna kick your ass. So this is what we're dealing with. Obviously, at some point it doesn't even matter. This pattern just breaks off, and Blizzard itself goes off a cliff because BOARDCLEARs don't matter anymore. Now, the only thing that matters is the amount of BOARDCLEARs a certain class has. So that also is very crazy, actually. How many? Yeah, boys. How many? Each BOARDCLEAR gives 10% power level. The more BOARDCLEARs we're gonna find, the more percentage we're gonna get. So, what's gonna happen? Well, these BOARDCLEARs have plenty of percentage to share. Blizzard into Flamestrike is a thing. It's a combo, my friends. Which is the stupidest combo. A BOARDCLEAR into BOARDCLEAR? Yeah. Mage immediately presented itself as the biggest threat I've ever received in my life, bro. I don't want to talk about it, okay? She touched my pee-pee, and I'm not happy about it. Alright, so Consecrate at 4 mana. It's just a generic 6. However, it reaches for 2 damage to your face, so now it's a 7. Holy Nova actually is healing your creatures, so potentially you can heal for like... and healing yourself, so that's pretty useful. I'm not sure if it started at 5 or 4. I'll pretend it was a 4. And so, dealing 6 damage and healing like 3 things, that's pretty cool. For any gain some additional values, I'll give it a 9. Very cool stuff. Obviously, we're missing one thing. With the Consecrate, there's a special little combo called Another BOARDCLEAR. Except it doesn't entirely clear the board, it just prepares, so equality basically. You get the idea. I don't want to waste this, but I'll do it for the sake of, you know, visualizing. So, let's go back. Blade Flurry got nerfed. Did it got reverted? Pretty much. It pretty much got reverted, except it doesn't deal damage to your opponent's face anymore. It went to 4 mana, now it's back to 2. But, you know, we're seeing, like, there's some movement in the BOARDCLEAR space. So some of these actually got buffed. This one reverted, but it was nerfed. In a very weird moment, it was kicked out of the game. It was tossed around all over the place, so it's very hard to keep track of this one. But yeah, it was definitely a staple. It was kind of like 4 damage sometimes. Often enough, 3 damage. You do have to sacrifice a weapon. You have to set things up. But we started with 11, and because we need to set things up, it's kind of like a half deal, I would say. I'll say it's a 6. It's a generic 2-drop in a way. What else do we have? And I'll add all these numbers together, my friends. It's going to be fascinating. So we have a lightning storm, which was buffed as well. It actually overloaded for 2 as well, I believe. It's hard to fucking remember all these things, I swear. It dealt 2 or 3 damage randomly. Because it was random, it was very kind of awkward thing. So I cannot... I am leaning between like 6 and 11, which would average at 8 because the nonsense. Also, it's like 5 mana in a way, but it's kind of flexible enough with overload. I'll take that. You know, again, we're taking the old versions of these cards. This used to be 4 mana, and this was not being played by anyone except me. I'm like, guys, this kicks some ass. Also, you have this bad boy, which technically is a BOARDCLEAR. I'm not gonna complain about it. But now with all characters getting damaged, things are a little bit complicated. This is still reach. This is still very generic reach. So I'll give 1 point for that. Again, 4 damage. But now we have to, you know, multiply by 0.6 the whole thing. 60%, right? All minions. 60% effective. Because, again, sometimes your minions get in the way. I'm just saying. We gotta reduce the whole thing. But you guys, often enough, you're defending yourself. I don't know. I'm still gonna say it's 60%. So we're at 11, right? Now the math is pretty complicated, but hey, I'll just say it's a 7 to make things pretty simple. With Shadow Flame, you are sacrificing a creature, potentially a pretty valuable one. I say the creature is like 3 points of tempo sacrifice, but you're getting 3 damage on average at the same time. This is a flexible spell, but it's not too flexible because if you want to just play it raw, it requires a minion. So you can't just play it for 4 mana without anything. I was still gonna look away from that because the flexibility kind of fixes the problem. But you have 11 points of tempo minus the sacrifice. Okay, we're almost there. Legacy completed. Dread Infernal, we're gonna put him at... so, if it's 60% effective, we're basically hitting 2 minions instead of 3. That's what it is, right? It's 2 minions instead of 3. That's just the simplest thing. However, when, you know, you're playing minions against minions, they kind of clog up on the board. But I'll still say 60%. I like it when it hits all the minions. I actually prefer those kind of BOARDCLEARs. Because at least you have to think a little bit more. Unless it just clears the board out of nowhere, you know. The entire board, and you don't have to worry. Because, like, even with Brawl, you have to play something. Back in the day, you had to play, like, your tokens out to have a better chance of clearing the entire board. You know, and your token winning, basically. You were kind of obligated to do that. And it would have been nice if your minions had a higher chance of winning or whatever. Some bullshit like that. But yeah, Brawl was also a nightmare. It's just, you know, you're waiting for that moment when your opponent played 2 Brawls and then you just go all in. That was quite something. I'm not gonna lie, that was quite a moment in my life. Oh, you played your second Brawl? Well, the game is over now, my friend. There's Whirlwind. Again, I'm not sure where Brawl is, where any of this stuff is, because Legacy doesn't show any of that. Technically, the cards that are in the game right now don't show up in Legacy, so it's all confusing and fucked up, basically. Blame Blizzard for that. I can't possibly tell you how any of this works. So we're not going to talk about Twisting Nether or Brawl, even though they probably should show up right now. But they're still in the game. So it's confusing. Wild Pyro is in the game and it shows up. So you tell me, guys, what the fuck is going on? Abomination, we're not going to touch that. Because it's an abomination. It's kind of useless. Alright, nobody played that shit. Baron, it's a weird one. So, with Wild Pyro, if you're really cool, you can have it in some decks, but it's technically useless. Alright? Only Priest and Paladin have been playing this bad boy. I mean, I tried in some places, I would imagine. But it's just a generically terrible card. Alright? We don't have to talk about these at all. Baron to this day, I don't think is relevant. Or has been ever relevant. And the Whirlwinds, I mean... sure. Now, we just kind of warmed up, because Legacy, we're just going to add these numbers up. We're not going to take the average or anything. Because it would be too weird to take the average, right? Also, it's a 2. Because Whirlwind hits all the minions. Well, Warrior can take advantage of that. Now, what we're going to find is what I'm suspecting. We're not going to find Orclairs for a long time. They just haven't been printed. Because they are too powerful. You know. So, that is the expectation that I have. Like, back in the day, we had class Borklers, and people, I mean, developers knew not to fucking print Borklers to make the game stable. Only classes have a few Borklers, and that's it. You know, you have seen the 2 Lightning Storms, you've seen 2 Flame Strikes, you know it's over. You don't have to play around that shit anymore. But now you play, you don't care anymore. You just know your opponent is going to have 70 Borklers, even though there's only 30 cards, but they're just going to discover a Borkler. Who cares? Who cares anymore? You don't have to play around anything, because you can't. So I'm just adding all these numbers together. Alright, 1 second. In total, we have 103 points of tempo for Borklers. That's how much that's how scary the Legacy thing is. Alright, let's dive into other things. Oh no, not the Death Spy. There's nothing. Nothing, my friends. Explosive... yeah, yes. The only Borklers that show up, they have been played extensively. And, I mean, some of these are fringe and not supposed to be played that much. But look how fringe they are. Like, this is awesome. I mean, I want to go back into those times when we didn't have this nonsense, bro. It's just like, but only if, bro. This has been buffed. It's like, oh, well, fuck it, you know. That's the attitude. Yeah, but it hurts me. And I'll take my revenge, my friends. Not just, you know, make a much better card game, but, like, take revenge. So Skulker used to be 5 mana. We start with 3 points of tempo. we're hitting, well, 2 minions on average because now we're targeting undamaged minions. So it's a little bit more complicated. That's a 7 points of tempo. Nothing to complain about, but the problem is nothing has been introduced. So this is BlackRock. What is that? What is that? So, 5. That's like a 5. It's like a 6. 7, 6, 7, 5, 6. I mean, fuck yeah, dude. I can even add them all together to 18. Well, we reached 18. Alright, let's see what else we have. Alright, the shitty one. Very useful. It was fucking very useful. It overloaded for like 4 or 5. Some ridiculous amount. And then Chilma, I've seen that guy a bunch of times as well. It's like, hey, welcome back to my memory, assholes. So Elemental Destruction really changed the game for Shaman. Just completely changed the game. Because now they have another one. And now I have to play around this piece of shit. At least they're gonna get overloaded for next turn. I have the opportunity to like take advantage of that. That was cool. I'll take that anytime. So we have to imagine this was overload 5. Overload 5. I want to double check. Overload 5, boys. Absolutely. So, technically it's like 7 mana. Even though, because overload kind of takes away a little bit of the pressure if it splits up. 4 and 5 damage. So we're kind of in the middle of here, dealing 17 damage to the board. But it's so flexible, I'll just push it to 5 damage anyway. Well, yeah, well, whatever. 17. Keep it at 7. It's still 7 mana. So, where are we right now? Tournaments. And the other card is Chilma, which we're not going to evaluate because I don't care. It's too complicated. I guess I should. It is a scary card. Alright. But now we have Death Rattles, which also probably 60% effective. On top of 60% effective because it deals to all minions. So it's... what? 36%? So it hits 1 minion, it's like a 9 point of tempo. It is a taunt, so that's pretty cool. 17. Just one card alone boosted Shaman's reputation, and Tournament apparently sits at 26. Well, now things getting scarier. I hate it. Already. Excavated Evil. Guess what? Another nightmare. Every single card that will show up is going to be nightmare by default. I will skip this expansion because we just have one card. Fascinating. Alright, I love it. Just one card. Thank you. Thank you, Blizzard. This was not really a nightmare. That was fine. This was not played, so fascinating. Very good. It should have been played. I mean, it's a BOARDCLEAR, after all. But, you know, it cost a lot. And at some point, as I've said, you're clearing all the things, and it's still kind of icky if you're not, like, freezing the board or whatever. So, you know, they printed a BOARDCLEAR that I can't be mad about. This one has been seen ridiculous amount of times. Even Corrupted Seer was being played. This one, not so much. But, you know, it's a neutral card. Why not? Like, this card probably have been played in, like, some generic decks who just needed a BOARDCLEAR really badly. Like, it's ridiculous. A 6 mana, deal 2 damage has been, like, a decent card. So it starts with 3 points of tempo. What do we have? Old Gods. Okay. Neutrals. Plus 50% because I'm gonna ignore the power level thing, but like any class can have it, and all of a sudden makes the game unpredictable. The person can actually have a BOARDCLEAR. So this 6 point of BOARDCLEAR, actually it's supposed to be 7, goes to 10. This little shit is a 10. What the fuck, bro? Because it's so unpredictable, it's so difficult to play around this. You can just take a person by surprise. Surprised I have more where that came from. Absolutely. So, that's also pain. I'll give it a 5. And we're back to 15, so not too bad. But let's see when things start just exploding out of control and I die inside making this video. A milestone portal have been seen. Plenty of things turned, you know, Shaman to now a BOARDCLEAR class with 3 BOARDCLEARs. Congratulations. And now they run spell damage. Because they have so many BOARDCLEARs. It's so useful. Great. Obviously, Mage keeps getting stuff. This is where the pain starts, it looks like. This is now getting ugly. Now, I feel like I'm getting knuckled in the face with that one. Gadget Sand, boys. Also known as mean streets. And I don't like going out into the streets. So let's evaluate. 4. Everything. What's 5 on everything? That's 12. That's the same shit. Well, this one's like 14. You might play a dragon. No? 12 still? I'll give it a 13. A honorable. It's supposed to be 6 mana, by the way. So that's another 12. That is a very cool card. Really cool card. It's a 6. It's a 2 mana card after all, but it's really cool. See, the thing is, it's like a combo thing with all the other BOARDCLEARs. But I'll try to, like, ignore unless 2 BOARDCLEARs show side by side. Otherwise, it's not a combo. And this one has not been played. Except by me, because I love BOARDCLEARs when I can play them. And they're not being played by anyone else. So, it's just a pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie. I usually half-ways to buff my minions. So, it sort of deals 1.5 in a way. Maybe 2. If you squeeze hard enough. If you have a combo, it's pretty good. Like, I enjoyed this one. This is actually a very good buff to the anomaly thing. Anomalous, right? This is a very good redesign, so to speak. Because you just have to, like, figure out how to buff this card, and all of a sudden it does the same thing. And it's a neutral. I'll take that. Oh, we have a combo as well. Not only this is 14, because it can deal 5 damage to your opponent. This is also existing with dealing 3 damage, and it's all of a sudden Warlock is now my main most hated class. I hate it so much now, apparently. In terms of history, because I can't possibly remember, but yeah, it has been like onslaught of Zoo and into that, and it's just pain. Like, what is that, bro? Now, again, we have to turn it into 6. So it's a 12. Dealing damage to your opponent's face. Another 13. This one's 14. The last one, how do we evaluate this card? Is a little bit weird. Again, this one was 6. I have to give like 50% of that. So it's like 12 points. Just the flexibility kind of just sells the card. You buff it with like a 1-drop. But like the attack buff has to stick, which not a lot of cards have been doing that. Where things just stick around. Like, I don't remember that. So, at the time being, it wasn't a good card, but now it would be pretty good. At 12, maybe 11. I'll give it a 12. I want to honor the card existing like that. So if you add all these together, we already have broken 50 immediately. Wow, this is so mean. I can't believe it. They started just printing BOARDCLEARs. Technically, this is where we're almost at the point of when was it? Witchwood. Witchwood was when the power creep started. But now it seems like the power creep actually started at Gadgeton. And we actually know why. Primordial Drake also being played ridiculous amount of times. But it's a standalone card, and I actually appreciate that. It's like so cool. It's another one of those, you know, moments when the Murloc has been upgraded. How would we evaluate this card? It's another tough one. +4. This is like a 6, 10. Pretty good stuff. So 15. This would be a 15. This is really powerful. Because that's a goddamn neutral. Let's keep going. We got more. Another expansion. No neutrals though. 2 more Warlock BOARDCLEARs. BOARDCLEARs that I really fucking hate. Again. It's just a never-ending nonsense with Warlock. I can't believe. So now it is, by default, the most hated class. Probably for the rest of its existence now. Warlock is just generically the most hateable class for me, personally. Forever. I should probably just concede instantly if someone plays Warlock. Holy shit. Not only it had the most BOARDCLEARs, it had Twisting Nether. The best BOARDCLEAR in the game, because it just clears everything whenever. Wow. I didn't even, like, realize how many that was. How did I not realize? So this is not really a BOARDCLEAR. It was never being played even. So I'll just ignore it, unfortunately. It's the similar effect with these things. Like, the Death Rattle BOARDCLEARs, they're not being played. And these ones are very confusing to evaluate. Regardless. I could give, you know, 2 points for the attempt of, like, messing around with things. With the order of things. I'll give 2 points. What is the expansion right now? We're Frozen Throning. We're watching Frozen Season 1. Alright, so 6 points of tempo. Plus a new hero power. That's, let's say 8. It's worth something. Well, it's a very fucking good hero power, so now it's worth 4, let's say. So that's already 10, plus 5 points of healing. 12, boys. Wow. Just 12 for Rexar? Oh, that's so lame. There's some other things like Cleave has been introduced in the game. And, you know, the warrior Cleave hero exists. There's probably some BOARDCLEARs that I'm not even hitting with the keyword of 2 all, but we're hitting most of them. 90% of them. So I'll take my chances, bro. And then we're gonna look at the destroy in some other video, because this will take a while. This will take like 2 hours. But it's so satisfying to see the history of this stuff. I mean, I'll push through it, don't worry about me. This is where things get very interesting. So not only we have like very interesting BOARDCLEARs that some of them I can't even evaluate. This one can reset the game. Because now it's lifesteal. This one is an extremely scary BOARDCLEAR. This is very difficult to evaluate because with a little bit of spell damage, you go back to living again. We have to imagine that you will always use spell damage. You cannot not use spell damage with this one, basically. So it's like a 4-mana card that deals 2. You know, we have to like buff this in our minds. You have to play life. So now we're healing for like 6, dealing 4, healing for 6. That's still 7. That's not crazy numbers, but wow, interesting. Very interesting. It's a 2-drop though, so it's very interesting numbers, I would say. And it's more of like a healing card, but it's still very painful to look at because it's very flexible. It's a different sort of Reno effect. Reno requires you to not have multiple cards. This just requires you to have 2 spell damage. You know, minions. You just sacrifice a few cards from your hand and 30 health, boys. It is Priest. Priest can heal other ways. That's potentially better. You know, more flexible ways. But this is still a reset the game moment that I don't really appreciate that sort of stuff. But the first one, I'll take it. I'll take it to the knee, you know. I'll take one to the knee. I have the other knee, alright? Nothing bad is gonna happen, obviously. So the file is a weird card, absolutely. We have to pretend it goes 1, 2, 3. And hopefully it stops. Please stop. Dealing 6 damage on average, which is weird. It's weird. The file to me, like, it's an extremely scary card because it stacks into infinity and beyond. So the average is not 6. I'll give it an 8 because you get hitting more minions by default. You're actually waiting. You have the ability to wait. The flexibility is there to wait, not to cast it for 1 damage to everything or 2 damage to everything. There's way more potential there. I mean, technically on average, this is going to be 7 points. But you can push it way beyond that point. You can sacrifice your own minions for that. There's stuff you can do. Yeah, well, it does hit your minions as well, so I guess it's not too flexible. Maybe it's a 7. It's weird. The file is a weird one to evaluate, even though I hate it so much. Doesn't seem ridiculously strong. This one's also kind of painful, but I guess not big of a deal. Like an 8. Interesting. I'm not too upset. Okay, and then this one is a double BOARDCLEAR. Really weird. Also, I don't think I've evaluated weapons before. Of what kind of tempo value weapons have. I have to pretend it's just a flexible 2 damage. And the next one is like a 50% reduction. So we have like 3 damage. And everything, or 3 points of tempo. This happens twice. We still have to maximize the... Now, there's a little bit of flexibility where you can just hold this for the next... But it's like you would hold a spell as well the same way. I don't know. I'll give 7? That's not much. I'm okay with this expansion, apparently. But now it's just back to back. We're printing BOARDCLEARs, apparently. Except we skipped Ongoro. Okay, we'll see, we'll see. We're back at like 45. That's a lot. Let's keep going. Ooh. I like that. Heal all the creatures. Yeah, we go, boys. Now, the funny thing is, I haven't seen this card. I haven't been, like... killed by this card so many times that I'm like, oh, this is really bad. This one seems fine. I'm not sure why I didn't see that. Is it really that difficult to like spend your armor? You are like hero powering in general. You're using some kind of trick to deal like 5 damage to everything. This is ridiculously powerful. Why did I not see that card? What the fuck? Now, it's expensive. It's like 6 mana deal. Deal 4, let's say. 6 mana deal 4 or 5 mana deal 4. No, that's 6 mana. 6 mana. Because it's very specific. Okay. Well, it's still 16. There's nothing I can say. Well, no. Because it deals to everything. Okay. I guess 11. How do I see this more than that? I don't understand. And this one, I've seen it too. These ones are really weird cards as well. And we have, like, said I don't like weird cards, but okay. Kobolds. It's just so fucking weird. Sometimes it's a 4 damage. I'll give 3 on average. Or in a half. It's, what the fuck is this? It can discover itself, right? Reveal itself. But it would be 5 damage. I'll give a 10. I like 10. I don't, it's too complicated. Even this is complicated. Okay, so 9. But you have to hold the dragon. How much is that gonna reduce? Let's say 2. So 7. How about that? Giving us 28. Not the worst thing we have seen. Still pretty scary, but only 3 classes got a BOARDCLEAR that does now a lot of damage. It kind of is quite annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Agatha, definitely a thing. This one, another just... At this point, the moment they print this out, Warlock has been just the most cancerous class that I didn't want it to look into anymore. I didn't want to play against. It was just game over to me with Warlock. Shaman is also kind of annoying, but like, whatever. This is fine. This is cute. Another hero power that doesn't really do much, but it's free. I'll give it 3. Then deal 3. That's like to all minions. Okay, that's 6. So 9 plus 2. But pretty expensive. So not flexible at all. So this is gonna negate itself. That's a 9. Yeah, so it almost kills everything. It's kind of a ridiculous card. Again, it targets your minions specifically. Still weird. But you can sort of see it coming if you're playing against like an empty board. You can see that coming. You don't have to commit against the Warlock. They hopefully don't generate this ridiculous amount of tempo back in the day, so you can sort of play. Who knows now? I can't evaluate the past. I have to look into the games of the past to do that. We have to assume it just clears pretty much everything. Deal 6 damage, 5 damage, but with a twist that it attacks you, destroys your own minions, so it's 60% effective. 12 plus 4, 16. The most powerful BOARDCLEAR was 17 at Grand Tournament. I already forgot what that was. Unfortunately. What was it again? A neutral? No? Elemental destruction, interesting. Almost clears everything. And clears things like very flexible, you can play it whenever you feel like it. As early as you want. You don't have to wait for turn 7 specifically. Or turn 8, because it cost 8 mana in total. But now just weird. Whatever. Back to kobolds, which would... What else do we have? This is a painful one. A flexible, on average, is like a 4, right? It's like 4. Maybe it should be like 15, but then it's 10. It wasn't too scary, but the flexibility kind of... I mean, it's more beneficial than not, right? Maybe we should give it 12. But it's still like 8 mana, deal 4 damage to everything. Not that powerful. Even though it's flexible, yeah, whatever. It doesn't negate its own. Reveal a weapon. It seems okay, but for 6 mana, like, that's way too expensive, man. That would be 10. You need a weapon and a big one. It never worked. No one fucking played that card. I'll give 4 for attempting whatever, something. Maybe 5. It's just, at this point, I'm just like, yeah, right. Yeah, this one is annoying. I'm not gonna lie. All other... This one's annoying because I don't think it was that good at all. I'll give like a failed attempt as well. Like 4 points. Failed attempt to make a BOARDCLEAR. Just missed miserably. Well, technically it's a 6 because it's a neutral. And I've seen Kriparian play this in the arena, and I don't know why. I don't think it's that good, but it's like a constant BOARDCLEAR, so I guess that there's something to it as well. It's a constant one. Except, well, yeah, whatever. Whatever. I don't know how to evaluate that one at all. I mean, it has a body. It's like, it's not useless. Shit. This one kind of hits hard. Alright, I'll give it 14 of this. Wow. I guess I changed my mind then. Yeah, fine. 14. In total, we have 54. Alright, so which one was the time when power creep hit the hardest? Alright, when it started. Because up to that point, power creep I didn't detect, at least in terms of neutral cards. Which might not be the best way to evaluate cards, but that's what I chose. It seemed pretty fair. Right, taking samples from the neutral set. Because that's where the most cards are, is the easiest thing to look at. Now, well, it still seems like we started with mean streets, unfortunately. But now things are kind of equalizing, no? We're back to nothing, actually. I cannot evaluate this. But we do have, like, 2 neutral BOARDCLEARs that don't seem like BOARDCLEARs, except this card has a game lock, entire game lock mechanic. You put poisonous on this thing, and all of a sudden, it's pretty crazy. But that's just for Hunter only. I'm not too upset. I'll just ignore this. Have we seen all of these? Kind of. This one I haven't seen. No one really plays elementals. So this one I haven't seen. In fact, this is just a bad card. Like, we have seen the dragon one for 4 mana. Why does this cost 6? We will never know, guys. What the fuck? This is a big question mark. I can't I can't understand. To all other minions. Just at least say non-elementals. What the fuck? In fact, not only they fail on this card, they fail just on the elemental archetype forever. I barely seen elemental decks pop out. Barely. It looks cool though, right? No, it doesn't. It looks pretty fucking ugly. I didn't even know it was a dinosaur thing. I didn't even care that much to for the first time I see, oh, it's a dinosaur actually. Oh, cool. For the first time I zoomed in a little bit. We never even looked into this card because it's so bad. Oh, that's funny. So for 6 mana, well, it's an attempt for a BOARDCLEAR. I'll give you a 5 for that one. Congratulations. What is the expansion? Rumble. No, it's a fucking 5. You have to play elementals. Are you kidding me, bro? This one's cooler. This one actually like draws cards. It's pretty cool. Let's say you deal 4 damage, draw 3 cards. This is kind of like a +5 or +5, like 9, 10, something like that. What else do we have? This one's kind of too expensive, but still was being played, of course. But to all minions, like, nah. Way too expensive, way too weird. What the fuck is... I didn't think this was being played. It had to be, but it's just a very weird card. So for the first time, I'm like, oh, Warlock didn't actually get a BOARDCLEAR. That would ruin my life. That's pretty good. I'll take that. That's a victory. So it's a 4, but it's like a terrible 4. It is 1 mana. Though. I'll give it a 3. Fuck you. What is it? 4? 6? +6. 23. What else do we have? Somehow I'm dying after I said fuck you. What? Just because I give... Come on, man. Okay, regardless, I have to just take a break in those moments when my shit talking just backfires. Ugh. So I don't want to be a nasty person. Yep, we have seen that one plenty of times. And it's not the best thing. It's more like 3.5. Do everything again. This is fancy, okay? Do everything, I'll take it. I'll take the, you know, risk now. Now that you have an empty board, now that I've destroyed everything you have, or you pose as a control class, I will understand. You know, 3.5. We're talking about, again, 27 in the middle. Ugh. 13, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, 9. So weird. I still have to like do math and all that stuff for every single case. Yeah, this used to be a legendary, by the way, that has been played, and now it's just a generic minion. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating progress in life. So, we have a 5 that's... Well, I mean, it is a one that wants to, like, die, so you would prefer to have, like, premium status instead. So it actually more likely kills everything, but it sort of already does. I'll just, yeah, 5 plus 6, 11, plus the neutral buff, which makes it 15. What the fuck, man? the demon thing, which is pretty useful, right? 2 enemy minions, okay. Like a 5. Well, I guess it's not that powerful then. Maybe it's even just like a 4. Should have been 2 mana, 100%. Doesn't look too scary. I mean, unless you play exclusively demons. Oh no, not the ripple effect. What? 5? I'll give a 5. Now, these are flexible cards. Like, small cards can be buffed by spell damage very easily. You can't underestimate them. And that's why I will completely ignore that fact. Cool. Technically, like, spells should be... Oh, I also forgot... Because we didn't really have that occur. The simple bonus of having 2 BOARDCLEARs side by side presented to one class. This one synergizes as well, technically. But because it requires something, I will not give it the buff for now. This one is a little bit different, I think. This one's a little scary. Except giving 10% to this is not going to do anything, so I'll just give 10% to Earthquake. Yep, I'm doing it. It's still a BOARDCLEAR. That you can put 2 off. It's painful, bro. But you cannot buff. Well, yes you can. You just double the battle cry with something. Basically, all minions. You know, now we're just all. Ah, we missed. There's a spread of like volcano spread. We are missing some stuff. There's a mage spell that probably most of the weird BOARDCLEARs has slipped from Ongoro. There's the mage one. Meteor is technically a BOARDCLEAR. And then Volcano. Very interesting stuff. I would consider them as BOARDCLEARs as well. Even stuff that like deals damage to only like 3 minions specifically. Like 1 minion and adjacent minions. Technically it's like a most generic BOARDCLEAR you can have. As long as it's powerful enough. Okay, so this kills everything. And this is a 5. Okay. Everything. I have to bump it down. I mean, it deals stuff to everything as well, which sucks. Why is it so hard, man? 16. Plus, you're dealing with death rattles, but like, I don't care about that part. 16. Or the other ones, mage stuff. It's a 9. And it's a pretty nasty one, but you do take damage this time. I don't think that that's relevant, unfortunately. And this one also... Well, you can just spam secrets. This is kind of flexible. It's like 3 damage. So, and to all enemies now. Finally. Oh my god. Took us long enough. Now it just targets enemies. Holy shit. Because these are way more powerful than the generic stuff that deals to everything that we've been staring at for so long. But this is going to be over. This is going to start popping up, I believe. Also, all the ripples going to be over. Because these are just ripples, right? 1 damage is nothing. So, soon enough, my friends, the nightmare shall begin. I just want to know when. Just like with power creep, I want to know when. when it's happening. It was pretty recent, I would say. But, you know, this is already, you know, just an earthquake in general. Constant earthquake. Because they have to print BOARDCLEARs now. The BOARDCLEARs are rotating all of a sudden. They just have to print more and more. And then they just, like, broke the seal. Just started spilling over and pissing me off. How much more do we have to climb? Well, we're definitely going to be able to finish this in 2 hours, right? In the next hour. But I have to take a break. Let's do this one and take a break. All minions, holding a dragon, all enemy minions. Okay, cool. Death rattle though, so can't give too much. I'll give +4, maybe 9. Fine. Oh, this is a cool one. This is fascinating. So I've got 5, right? 1 second. Okay, so these are dragons. Dragons. Okay. We have seen 2 BOARDCLEARs in a row, but it's just kind of a weird one. How is that supposed to be a synergy? Right? It's not really. Well, it kind of is. Kind of a direct synergy with itself. I guess. Why not? It's a weird one because, like, you see it coming. If you see it coming, the synergy kind of just breaks off as well. But it is something to deal with. Funny enough, this card has been a meta player when you just, like, buff it somehow. Like, but I don't get it. I don't remember how that make any sense of what I just said. You like play Malygos and yeah, you play Malygos as fucking a clear. That was the idea because it's just a 1 mana clear. I'm not gonna count this as a meaningful thing at all, but I did got busted. Like Malygos is a special little card. All right. Deal to other characters. Another hold a dragon moment. Oh my, it's so, what the fuck is this? 5, I have. Give it 4 again. All other okay, I did 10 and then whatever that one thing was. I probably should just do something like this to indicate that one class just got 2 cards. 2. I mean, what else are you gonna do this? No, this Doomsayer and this doesn't count. I could give it a honorable 3 points. I mean, it is something. It's just like it doesn't count because I'll destroy it. I personally will destroy it. It wasn't played to be evaluated. Invoke Galakrond. It was a thing. It's a swipe. This is very interesting. And swipe was like 6, right? It was the very first card almost. 8. Well, this one's a 6 because it's 1 less damage, but not really. It's just swipe. I don't care. It's 7, right? So 3 plus 3 attack. It's a 6. And I said like, oh, it has reach. I guess that's fine. It has reach. So in total we have 19 plus 15. Okay. Still like hanging around in the 30 average, I think. 35 average. Something like that. We're not breaking the meta game. Wow, okay. Well, it was just a small mini set, right? I don't even... No. Wasn't that like super... No, but I don't... It's so weird. Was it an adventure? I don't understand. Can we just like... What is this? It's like an adventure thing. Oh, fuck off. Oh. Oh my god. We're gonna definitely have to worry about like the hidden ones. And it usually is gonna come from the class cards as well. So it's not gonna be too difficult to spot when we're looking to like destroy stuff. Oh. Alright, so I'm taking a break. Hopefully that doesn't fucking ruin the video like it usually does. Just so you know. Yeah, fuck you, Reno, bro. What the fuck is this? Yeah, it's just some, like, weird adventure thing. Yeah, welcome back to that.
It's the most insane laser obstacle ever created.
Anyways. Oh, of course. Well, this one again. If your opponent can control the BOARDCLEAR, it's not that fucking powerful, unless it's explosive trap. Unless it's 2 mana cost. So the Brute actually was not really played. I mean, I tried it, but it's pretty weak. It doesn't have premium stats after all. It is a ton though. That's something. Not sure if it still deals 1 damage if it doesn't survive. I don't remember the interactions. After? I don't know, man. It's so weird. But this one definitely got nerfed almost very quickly. I think it was like 3 mana or something. I don't know, man. And it's still a ridiculous card because it can do so much as long as you have discounted cards or very cheap cards. Oh my god, bro. And you probably have some kind of super combo where just you play a 1-drop, generate a 1-drop, keep playing shit. There's something you can do with this. I have to give it a 3. And it also deals damage to the face. Now we're at, oh. No, this is just Demon Hunter Introduction. But I guess it was introduced at Outland, so this stitches together everything. I'm not gonna, well, let's evaluate. What about this one, though? I guess it's like a 9. Or almost a 10. 10, 11, what? This is just 11 though? Okay. Well, it's 11 plus. Now we're getting to like one-sided BOARDCLEARs. So after Demon Hunter got introduced, I think this is where things get really fucking weird. I'll give it a 16 because the reach that you can do with this card is very relevant. You can keep on reaching with additional cards, even if the board is cleared. With one-sided, things are really powerful. Ugh, disgusting. Again, this one is a 10. I'll give it 10. But we're not done yet. This is just one class, so we're just adding everything together as well. I'm just not... Because Demon Hunter is just introduced, I'm not gonna like combo anything. Give 10% bonus. This is to everything twice. It's just fucking 4 or whatever. You can say it's a 5, it like breaks Divine Shields. I don't know. Doesn't seem that relevant. But you can buff it with the spell damage and then it's relevant. The storm in the thing, I mean, it's not bad. But the dormant thing, it's just... I think it bumps down by 20%, 40%, depending on how many turns. So this one, 40%. Okay. So we add everything together, it's 11. We bump it down, it's like an 8. Like an 8. Not a big deal so far. All other minions. Oh, wow. It's a 10. This one's really simple, right? Well, if you cast spell last turn, so it's almost unplayable. It's just an 8. It's unplayable BOARDCLEAR. Well, you're probably gonna cast the spell last turn, but like... It's so weird. I mean, it's the weirdest shit. So far, we're still not, like, breaking anything. Bladestorm was at 3 mana introduced. And still had to be, you know, buffed now. Because we have to buff BOARDCLEARs, obviously. Bladestorm is a little bit weird. It almost, like, kills like a 6/6 or a big minion. It's more of a removal. 6/6. I'll give a 6. It's a 2-drop. It's too hard to determine. It's kind of like the defile thing. I don't know. It's a really complicated one. So far, I mean, I love it. If it's complicated, that's fine. But things are gonna get really weird. It feels like. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just fooling around. Maybe this whole time I just has jinxed you into believing something completely different. This is 16, 20, 24. Really? 45. So far, it's just kind of slightly above normal. But Demon Hunt, a new class is getting introduced, so of course we would be. This one is getting a little bit crazy. Not too crazy now, but you'll yeah, this is gonna get so weird. So weird, bro. Why? Oh, it's a double class. Okay. Tidal Wave is really weird one because it resets the game. Now it's out of control, I think. And yeah, the big BOARDCLEARs, even though they're big BOARDCLEARs and they cost a lot of mana, they can still clear my fucking board. That's the problem. And now, not only this clears the board, it gives them the minions for everything, for just a bonus, bro. You're already killing my board, and you get a bonus for killing my board. If you don't kill my board, you don't get a bonus. If I have a lot of big minions, then you don't get it. You can kill your own minions. So in a way, almost guaranteed you're gonna get 2 spirits, but you're also killing your own stuff. You're gonna get 3 spirits. You're all minions, so that's a 6. And in total we have 15. It's not that crazy, 15. It's fine. School, basically. Always 15. I'll take 15. Improved by spell damage, so it's... And also reoccurring. It's kind of like 3 on top of that. Only targeting enemies now. 3 recurring, that's 9, 15 as well. Really scary card. I swear, guys. Plus, it's double class. Meaning that, do we double it? Do we double the occurrence thing? Technically, we have to. It's a double class BOARDCLEAR, which is ridiculous, you know. Okay. Now we're gonna break some records with this one, okay? With this expansion. Deal 3 to all minions. So the whole point is to like heal for 20. You get 10 points of tempo. Like normally, right? Okay, for 15, you get 8 points of tempo. And then Deal 3 to all minions. Plus 6, right? That's 13. That's not too crazy, but now we add all these numbers together and it's insane. I mean, anything above 10 is already weird. It's already weird because it's already like 3 damage. Top of board clear, or you're generating tempo on top. It's already weird. Again, we don't see like the mana ratio thing that I would need. Because we're looking at all kinds of mana cost. Heal to all minions. 4. This is not really powerful at all. I was able to play around that. Somehow Warlock got scammed. This, you want a Workler? Oh, you got one. Technically, you know, the fragments give a little bit of tempo for each fragment, right? I'll give 1. Shuffle 2. Whatever. It's a 6. Still not 2 mana, though. Used to have 2 mana. 6 tempo. All other minions, ugh. Oh, boy. Well, let's see, it's an 8, and neutrals get 50%, so congratulations. And now we're gonna get a number, boys. A very interesting number. They shouldn't have printed a dual-class BOARDCLEAR, I'm just saying, bro. But they did. The math tells me it is 76. We have broken a record. Still haven't broken the legacy set. And again, the legacy set has many things that I don't even know that it has. Cool. Very interesting. Also, well, there's also like mass dispel effects. Or like removals that dispel the target. So it just removes the target. There's no death rattle happening, nothing. I'm not sure if that's powerful at all, if that's relevant. But just to keep in mind. Dark Moon. What the fuck is that? Is that the time when I didn't know what... What is Dark Moon? DARKMOON FAIRE, okay, I see. I don't understand what this card is. To all enemy minions now. If you're overloaded though, however. Okay, I guess it's a 5. I'll just call it fair, like, what? Okay, so that's ultimate swipe. My favorite thing. Obviously, I have to corrupt it, so that takes a bite. But normally, it's a much better swipe. Dealing 6 plus 4, that's a 10. Minus corruption, maybe that's an 8. So far, I'm not upset about anything. I wonder... Well, I am upset about fucking SCHOLOMANCE Academy. And that legendary, that dual class legendary was pretty fucking disgusting. They keep reoccurring, but I used to play it myself. You saw I have a copy of it. I forgot to press crafting, my friends, on this one. We might have got ahead of ourselves a little bit. This one should be fine. But I'm seeing other cards now. Ooh, SCHOLOMANCE Academy just got pain in the ass, my friends. There's another dual class legendary. And this one, of course, the Soul Fragment payoff for Demon Hunter. And Warlock. No? What? I thought it was dual class for Warlock as well. Okay, so to other minions, 6, destroy soul gem, 5, 7. Wow, SCHOLOMANCE is gonna break the game. Alright. The legacy. The legacy that we left of not printing too many BOARDCLEARs. And most importantly, the Bear-of. The Bear-of is a pretty goddamn disgusting card. Should be around like 20 points. Because it destroys everything. Without consideration, bro. Just everything. It's, I mean, I should consider the quality effect a little bit differently. This doesn't die instantly. So, but you just need 2 damage to activate this. So it's like a 5 mana thing. It's a little bit awkward. But if it destroys everything for 5 mana, I mean, it's kind of 25 twice, regardless. So Paladin and Warrior get the ultimate BOARDCLEAR, basically. The legendary ultimate BOARDCLEAR. They just have to activate. That's it, bro. So on top of that, we get... well, it destroys everything, so I have to, like, remove the 60% thing. Okay. I think it's 16. Okay, so it doesn't look that crazy when you do that, but it's still a fucking 3-drop. It just requires activation, or you already activated with by having a BOARDCLEAR in your hands, obviously. 108. Legacy has been broken at SCHOLOMANCE. Oh, you're gonna fucking teach me now. Pieces of shit. How to print the most disgusting shit. SCHOLOMANCE has broken the game. I agree. I think that was the time when Pure Paladin showed up as well. And not only it had this bad boy, but there was some other shit going on. That just did the equality effect. Okay. This was nerfed, by the way. I think it was a 2-drop. Okay. 3, right? So it's 7. Ah, the Eyesore, the greatest BOARDCLEAR of all time. Accept demons. 5. Accept itself. I guess I can give 8. And now 16. 12. Okay. Now we're back to normal. I don't know. Barrens. Ooh, that's a lot of shit going on. So, well, okay, Barrens was maybe the last one that I know of. And then Stormwind, Valley, and Caverns was something that people complain about. Because it was the worst year, so to speak. Well, let's see it. This one I still remember, right? Still remember this shit being the most disgusting card in the universe. So technically this has like 3 attack. Alright. Some classes have the attack buff, and some of them gonna run it. Maybe it has like 4 attack even. This is a pretty crazy card. But let's say it's the 3 attack. Ugh, disgusting. But it can also attack the minion that it's attacking into, so plus 3 damage. Because it's a rush. Then 6 health. Well, you have to buff it, so it's like 6. Complicated. I'll deal 3 damage to everything. 11 and The rest of the stats tell me... 3 plus 3. It's not too crazy, but it is a neutral. Barrens. Three to all the enemy minions, by the way. So only you received the problem. And then plus 3 points of stats. Nothing too crazy, but because it's neutral, we have the best BOARDCLEAR in the game. Which previously was from the set, again, the tournament set. I already forgot again what it is. Barrens have introduced the best BOARDCLEAR in the game. Tournament. Sorry if you guys already remember that, but what was it again? Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty fucking Blastoise moment. But this one's pretty cheap. You just have to combo it, and all of a sudden your board is cleared, and pretty consistently. And you can't play around it because it's a neutral. So congratulations, boys. We're getting somewhere. You know, we're getting to a nightmare territory. This card is absolute nightmare. Holy shit. And they didn't nerf it because it's like, oh, but it looks pretty cute though, right? Like it's a cute card. Like, everyone loves this card, you know. And every now and then, I'm like... Fuck, this thing just won my opponent the game. Every now and then, I'm like... Wait, what the fuck is this 4-drop, right? Welcome my life, bro. This is kind of, like, pointless, but it is what it is. Let's, Well, it is 3 damage, though. I guess that's a 6. But it's dormant. It's kind of shit, man. It wasn't played that often. This one also was not really played, but it's technically a swipe. Without the reach. That's kind of cute. I mean, 4, 6, plus 6. What else do we have? Ah, my favorite Pokemon, bro. Holy shit. Another thing that gave me nightmares. Mordrush. The payoff card. But what is the best payoff you can give to a player? Of course, just win the game. Just type in win the game, basically. Epic. In fact, this is the best BOARDCLEAR. It only targets your creatures that you played. So, it's one-sided and deals damage, 10 damage to your fucking face, my friends. There is a requirement, of course. So I'll give like 30% off on this guy. Now we have to do math, unfortunately. So everything gets destroyed. Plus 5. Plus 30% off. Because it's also kind of expensive and all that shit. 21. Actually, I guess it's not the best BOARDCLEAR. It's just as good as everything else. It makes Mage unbearably powerful, however. Now, SIRE is also Cancer. Now we're just smashing, bro. Now we're just like vomiting into this card game. It's like, well, if you just combo wombo, you have yourself a Twisting Nether. Congratulations! You just need to combo wombo a little bit. It's a payoff. So SIRE also was this kind of Cancer nonsense that you just, you know, it's gonna come out and it's like, wipe your board and like, reset the game, blah, blah, blah. So fucking, this such a Cancer card. It's the same bullshit. plus 4 points of tempo. To all enemy minions. It's one-sided as well. So it's not Twisting Nether anymore even. It's not even Twisting Nether anymore. It just instantly turned into a destruction of the universe, bro. Like, it's so stupid. At this point, I was screaming at my screen. And I'm like, I can't fucking play this game anymore, bro. Because now you can just craft one BOARDCLEAR. One Twisting Nether from the neutral set, one Twisting Nether from your actual set, heal up yourself forever and ever, boys. Like, it was just insanity now. It's pointless. It's pointless to play the game against certain classes. It's ridiculous. So here we go, boys. We are definitely dealing 25 damage. Everything gets destroyed. Again, we have to still do math. You have to combo the card a little bit. There's a requirement. 25 plus 4 because of the tempo. All enemies, though. The requirement here is slightly more favorable. Also, the card is very cheap. So the final score is 24. This is the best BOARDCLEAR in the game. And probably forever and ever, to be honest. SIRE, my friends. Who could fucking top that BOARDCLEAR? I mean, like, there's nothing bad that's gonna happen. No foreshadowing there, right? Upgrades. Woo! Yay! Fuck yeah, boys. Upgrade. So, on average is 6. Cool. 2 mana 6. I'm not too upset. No one's gonna fucking play that card. But it is not. Everyone's gonna play that card because it's a BOARDCLEAR. Okay, that's how it works. Also, this guy got nerfed. Congratulations. That's also another Twisting Nether. They just like they just went with it, you know. They went with it. Just shoved those Twisting Nethers right into the game. One-sided ones, unfortunately. So now I understand. I understand, guys, why 2021 was the worst year for Heart. I understand now. It's pretty fucking obvious. So this was a 2-drop, dealing 2 damage or poisonous. So you have a coin flip, basically. Well, we have to take the best outcome of 25 plus the tempo plus the badass requirement of actually drawing the Murlocs and all that shit. Was it actually available in the standards? Probably not. So I'll just pretend that this Murloc didn't fucking work. Alright? Let's just pretend that. It didn't work, but you can like buff it. It has like Murloc synergy. I'll give it like 10% value. So it's like a 10. It's really powerful. It's a legendary after all. Nothing to complain about, right? What is this? All enemy minions. Now we're just like going for it. Alright. That's a 7. 7 plus. Now we have a combo going on. We have a combo going on over here with the priest. Alright, alright. We're not done yet, boys. So I have to give plus 10% for the combo. That's cool. Plus 10% for the combo in Shaman. Technically, this would be a combo for everyone. I'll just try to ignore it, you know. Wow, Barrens just breaking the game instantly. This was a cancerous BOARDCLEAR as well. Because it costs just 1 mana, the cost of sacrificing a minion is non-existent, my friends. This is definitely a 6 plus more. We have more. So 5 damage to everything. Alright. Great, 10, but you have to discard some cards. Maybe it's an 8, because you don't want to do that necessarily as a control class, but like you might want to play one of these. I don't know. I'll say, well, it's not really a combo. It's a very awkward card that I haven't seen being played too often. So the Soul Rend thing, but I've seen it. It's a BOARDCLEAR. It gets played. What do we have here? These are not necessarily BOARDCLEARs, it's more like activations of other minions. This one's pretty interesting. Okay. Okay. How do we evaluate this? I guess I have to evaluate all of them, but I'm not going to give bonuses to all minions. So, 4, you hitting like 3, you get armor. It's kind of like 7. 7. This one starts at 5. To all other minions and Frenzy. 7, maybe 8, but like whatever, 8. Because the Frenzy part is probably pretty weak. Your opponent can trigger Frenzy after all. Resurrect Friend. I haven't seen this card being played. I probably can just skip it. That's it, bro. So the question is now, after all of this nightmare that we had to endure, looking at the most disgusting cards ever. This 21, I think, belongs to the neutral. The super duper neutral. Okay. 7 classes. 7 classes, yes. So now let's add all of this together, because this is going to be a hard math problem for us. The power level of Barrens, in terms of BOARDCLEARs, was an expression invalid. Why? Why are you saying invalid, bro? Shut the fuck up. Probably because of that space. Yeah, the space in the end. 132. We have broken another record so fucking much that my eyes are bleeding now. Okay, so welcome to the worst year. You know, after Barrens, things just went off a cliff, and you were slowly being eaten by wolves. No big deal. Everything's gonna change because they're gonna stop making BOARDCLEARs, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, there's going to be a Paladin card that everyone loves very much. Alright? And it's not really a BOARDCLEAR, guys. As much of as just a card that breaks the game by itself. You know, it's that one of those. Yeah. just breaks the game. I can't evaluate this, unfortunately. But I can talk about it as a BOARDCLEAR, as just like a simple thing. Well, I will evaluate. I can't evaluate the effect of halving the damage, unfortunately. Because normally it's just like you have doubled your health, right? But I'm just gonna have to ignore a little bit of that. Alright, let's continue. Not many BOARDCLEARs have been introduced, why not? But hey! This guy showed up, and it sucks balls, because now it's a Twisting Nether again. And this one is, like, super simple as well. Oh, wow. So, cool. Okay, all minions, tradable, that's pretty cool. I'll give a 7. What is, Storm? Okay, Storm, interesting. Managed to get 7. It just kind of miled up a little bit. Maybe they realized they don't like BOARDCLEARs that much. The city tax is a pretty valuable one because it enables equality. So that shit you can't look away from. And there's now more equalities with the dude that we have seen, the legendary. So also it heals you. All enemy minions for 3, kind of. You can buff it. So I'll give 2 points for healing for lifesteal. And 4 points Also, it has a tradable. It's like a 7 as well. But this is a 2-drop 7. It's a little bit awkward. This one's also disgusting, it seems like. You kind of have to give a full value because controlling this is pretty good as well. All enemies, so you get hit. 2, 1. I'll ignore that you get hit. It's just like an offset for like asking you to cast Shadow Spell specifically. 11. Because there's no downside, there's just one-sided. This one is absolute cancer. Of course it clears everything as much as you need. Of course, you have to have a hand. You sort of know that it's coming when your opponent has a hand. It's coming, boys. But there's nothing you can do about it. I'll ignore the stats in that case. I'll give a 16. It clears everything. Congratulations. 16. What a pain. I'm realizing the way to play around board clears is very interesting. It's a very interesting experiment of like, not only you have to have a stat bomb on the field, you have to constantly draw cards and resources, generate resources, do all sorts of things just to play around the fucking board clears. Because the moment they come down, you also have to like note down how many board clears have been played. You have to remember all that shit. What kind of board clears have been played? If there's 2 of a certain board clear that has been played, maybe you can play around something all of a sudden. Maybe you can play extra cards. All of this stuff is just noise, but like it's kind of interesting. As long as the game doesn't break with all the stupid legendary Borklers. One-sided shit. Deal 3 damage to a minion on 2 other minions. All other minions. Okay. Now just a 2-mana swipe. Fantastic, bro. 5 and you don't really take damage as a warrior. I'll just say it's a 6. Well, 6 is 2 mana. It's normal. But not really normal, because we're talking about something like this. Which collapses to 47. It's slightly above normal. Valley. Alright, this is where things went off a cliff, pretty much. And spamming is also one of those disgusting cards that I don't really like being in the game. But now everyone has Defile, basically. So that was cool. Druid has Defile all of a sudden. Very nice. Valley. Okay. Let's do in order so I don't mess things up. Vulnerable kill, that's pretty cute. I guess you get 4, but get 2. I mean, that's a 6. That's pretty good. That seems like a 6. At the end, deal 2. It's a very expensive one to all enemies. Okay, it's an expensive shit. It's kind of like 8 plus 6 plus maybe you get to heal. Maybe that's relevant. It's a reoccurring effect though. So even though it's a weird one, it's like 18. What the fuck? The Paladin was just popping off, bro. Holy shit. Okay, honorable kill is a little bit more complicated. I'll bump it down a little bit. But just a little bit, because it just keeps reoccurring, though. It's just at the end of turn. Maybe it's even, like, better. It's like a fucking 20 or something. Reoccurring, bro. Like, you can just spawn this out of your ass, and it keeps on fucking playing shit like that, using the effect. Lightforged Carrier. All enemies. So this is where things get really annoying. You get a really powerful hero power. I have to give it like a 6 for the hero power alone. Then you have this effect, 6, 12. It's an expensive card. I'll just negate that part. The shield, whatever. You can still attack, deal a ridiculous amount of damage with the weapon. That's pretty cool. So infinite weapon as well. That's okay. Maybe that's a 6 as well, 18. And then deal damage to all enemies. That's a 7. Except, well, yeah. 25. Technically, it's the best BOARDCLEAR, but also bonus. Bonus for the other, for the drag. No, like these are very weird ones. These are not spells. They sort of have to be spells, or at least one of them, for a bonus. So Carriel is worth way more than 25 points. I'm just putting it down as a BOARDCLEAR right now, as a way to like change the game or reset the game, basically, because that's the idea behind every BOARDCLEAR. Like, you're safe now, right? All of a sudden, you're just kind of safe. Not a BOARDCLEAR, kind of. You're holding a Holy End Shadow spell. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. All other minions. It's kind of like an 8. And this one, oh, this one is disgusting. Death Rattle. 8 for the BOARDCLEAR, because you can buff it. There's some resurrection things. This is undead. I'll just ignore that. It's 15, something like that. Plus the bonus of 10%. There's... I don't think there's synergy, though. No, there's no way, bro. There's no way you synergize these. No way you can play these at the same deck. Right? It's just not gonna happen. This one was a disgusting card, obviously. Shuffle Rifts. You can get a 3/3. You deal 6. You get a new hero power. So already 9. The new hero power is worth like, I don't know, like 4, 13, draw 3 cards. It's like 20 for this stupid BOARDCLEAR that you're just gonna play all the time. That's the problem, you know, with these big numbers. Like, you're just doomed to play this card in your deck. You would need it. I should disenchant it just for disrespect for Tamsin, because I fucking hate this card. But I don't want to touch cards, to be honest. I have Dust, don't worry about it. Deal 2 damage to all enemies, blah blah blah. So we started 6. If it's a spell spell, I'll draw a spell. Start with 6. And it's kind of like, well, it's a 9. Because if you can pull it off, it would be 11 damage. It kills a lot more stuff. 9, okay. This is definitely going to be synergy. This was not played. And I'm not sure why. It's a very good card. I'll just pretend that the history is completely different and this was actually played. How do you not play this? What the fuck is wrong with people? So 3... and then you get up to 8 attack, pretty much. You just get an 8/8 that dealt 3 damage. Like, how do you fucking not play this? It's 11. So now we have a double combo. Alright, everything gets 20%, basically. Because now we have 3 cards. Okay, so Warlock was pretty fucking nasty, as it always is, isn't it? Okay, at the end of turn... That's a cute card. Again, Warrior doesn't get a downside to this necessarily. I'll pretend it does. Well, sort of. Like 7. I'll give it a 7. It was a very nasty card. I'll tell you that much. But it's cute. This one, however, was absolute nightmare. So, at 5 damage, it's 12. It's a nightmare. But you also need to combo this. I guess that's a 10. What? So it wasn't a nightmare. If it's just 10. God damn it, bro. It's hard to see because I would reevaluate things if I knew the rotation of cards of how many Borklers someone actually had. Shield Shatter was also like buffed, nerfed, all kinds of weird shit. I can't keep track of that either. Enemy minions, this sort of is gonna happen, right? Like it's just gonna happen. It's very playable, very good card. 6. So it's a 9 because it's neutral. And then Defile was at 6. So this is at 10 pretty much. And neutral makes it 15. Defile. Ugh, weird. I mean, you have to like set up. You have ability to set up Defile. You have ability to bump it from 6 to like 9. Like playing a 1/1. You just need a 1/1 in your hand. So I probably have to reevaluate the Defile itself as well. I will bump it to 9. So the actual evaluation, this is 13. It's 19. Let's add all of this together and get the Valley, boys. You can see how fucking weird it is how I have to do math on every single one of these. Now, I have to do the complicated fucking math equation. $165. What the fuck is this shit? Send help, bro. This is now insanity, bro. What the fuck? Where's the file? The file gotta fucking go to hell. What? Shit. I don't know the name of the file. Is it like the file, boys? No, it is the file. It's just weird. So it comes from not the what the wait. No, it doesn't show the expansion. Fuck my life, man. Okay, Frozen Throne introduced. Frozen is here. The file is somewhere. One of these 7s. I'm bumping into 9. It has to be like the last one. No, it's not the last one. Okay. I'm bumping that shit. Disgusting card. You just need a 1/1 to sacrifice and you get a pretty good board clear. If not the craziest one in the game, because it's so fucking cheap. And now it's a neutral. And finally, we are gonna come out of the wild format. Dread Scale. What the fuck is Caverns? Oh, it's a new fucking stupid time. So Barrens wasn't even... No, that's fine. That's fine. I understand. Wow, you guys have lived through some pretty fucking nasty shit. Ouch. Ouchies, man. I apologize for what you had to live through. By the way, Stormwind has introduced more Borklers that I might not know about. We have to double check our privilege. Alright. So, there's Quest. No? Side? How is it fucking called then? No, the heroes were introduced? Are you... what? Oh, no, no, no. Stormwind side quest. Okay, side... Come on, man. Side... What the fuck is going on? This is... Okay, quest line. My brain doesn't know these things. I didn't have to live through this. Which is nice. I don't think there's too many things to consider here. This is technically an infinite BOARDCLEAR, while at the same time it can kill you. So that's cool. This is also like infinite BOARDCLEAR, enhancer. I just want to acknowledge that. This is infinite board fill, in a way. So that's at least cool. I like that. Just pure win condition. This is just a cute little fucking quest line. What was that? Doubling spells, okay. Also BOARDCLEAR. I don't know what that is. Pirate is definitely a fucking infinite BOARDCLEAR, by the way. I don't know how to evaluate that. I just know that Stormwind is deceptively nice when it should be evaluated a little bit higher with some of these. But like it's so deceptively difficult to talk about this. I'm not even gonna attempt. So we are escaping wild now. Alright. Now let's look into the new stuff. Alright. New stuff. And again, the removal video is gonna come out later. I'm not sure when. But you might be interested in how removals have improved over time. I don't know. I'm interested. So I'll check it out. That's a pretty good one. Very easy to use. So this doesn't even matter. It's pretty much dying. This was a nightmare card. Does it clear everything? Probably not, but it's like 12 for sure. And now it combines the powers of the unicorns. Gets a little bit of a bonus. Congratulations. This is a nightmare as well. Feels like 3. Plus it has all these drills that they have to bump into things. Technically they died. Kind of. Maybe one of them doesn't die. It's so weird. I'll give them 3. I'll give them 3 points. But on top of that, this is a 3. Type of BOARDCLEAR. So it's a 9. 9 plus 6, 15. And then 15 plus 7, 22. What a fucking nightmare. Plus the reoccurring thing, you know. I'll give 20% for reoccurring effects. Fantastic, 26. Pretty much a nightmare. We have already said 26 is the best BOARDCLEAR in the game. So now you understand, like, Colossals, I don't fucking like these guys. The only redeeming quality in why it bumps down to 22 is you need mechs, technically. Right? No, you don't. I fucking don't. What are we talking about? It's just a reoccurring effect. It attacks itself, and it will still deal 1 damage. Or you can just summon some token mechs. Or you can summon itself again, and then it trigger itself twice and 3 times and 7 times, bro. Plus we have this guy, which is a nice cute card, not really harmful that much. It looks like a 6-5, something like that. Probably a 5. It takes too much activation. It's not going to be a synergy. It's not going to be a problem here. Nothing. Absolute nightmare as well. I think it has been... No? Was it not changed? I don't think it was changed, I guess. So, again, the stupid math. curses are on another level entirely of the shit that they do to the opponent. Like steal 2 mana. Or just some ass. It's just so ass. So you probably lose 4 health on average, or like 6 health on average from one curse. So plus that gives us 13, but that's the only BOARDCLEAR. Congratulations, thank you very much. It's still in the standard, by the way. I hate it. This one, I mean, some classes can use this. This is pretty good card. Shouldn't be underestimated. It's a 3-drop that's technically a 6 points of value for a 3-drop. So should always be considered if it's playable for your class. Because this shit is useful. I'll give it 6. This is also reoccurring effect, so 20%. And it's 7 now. And then neutral, 10. This if you cast blah 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 to all enemies, okay. Probably a fucking good card. It just seems like a good card. Starts at 7 plus 9, 16. Good. Neutral, 24. Ooh! Almost broke the record as well. My goodness. Alright, let's see. And now neutrals are synergizing with itself. What the fuck? Haven't seen that happen. Neutral synergy. Just everyone can have multiple BOARDCLEARs. Holy shit, man. Giving us 104 for all the BOARDCLEARs available to this day. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Castle Nathri is the best expansion that we ever received in the history of Hearthstone, bro. Man, someone has to fucking kiss someone's ass for the existence of Castle Nathria, bro. It just offset things to back to normal. Except Deathborn was a nightmare. Absolute fucking nightmare, bro. Holy shit, this is like, it's a 3. It's a 3. Points of tempo. And you can just generate that pretty well, like 4 of them consistently. Killing 2 minions. 4 minions, but yeah, maybe some of them are going to be your own. 4, that's 12. 16. See, it's pretty fucking bad. Okay. Nathri. Well, Castle. Let's Castle, boys. 16 plus whatever that stupid thing is. Recurring secret thing. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's recurring, but it requires you to hold secrets. Mage gets a boost. What is it a synergy at all? Why not? Deathborn can be played anywhere. Alright, even in other classes. You can just sneak it into other classes. And you're going to be very happy about that. Castle. You can imagine Deathborn was like the drugs of the castle. But that was it. We didn't receive any more drugs, guys. That's why I liked Castle Nathri. I'm like, why the fuck is this expansion like good and stuff? Like every other expansion felt like shit in my mouth. And this one is like fine. Like I wanted to hate this expansion as well, like every other expansion, but this felt nice. Completely different. Except we're forgetting that one dude that has been the BOARDCLEAR this whole time. Called the fucking Denathrius, bro. Holy motherfucking Jesus of God. And this fucking piece of shit. Oh my god, this guy is insanity, bro. On steroids. Ugh. This guy, holy shit, the Devourer. So, You thought we escaped Borklers. They just escaped us. All right, they escaped my grasp. This is a fucking infinite Borkler technically that I use personally, you know, to wipe out garbage forever and ever. Like, I need a Borkler too, my friends. This is a Borkler technically, not really commonly used, but if it's a Borkler, you have to play it. Bro, you just have to. There's no choice. I didn't give you a fucking choice, bite. So, Devourer. Devourer is the best Borkler in the game. And this is where we're gonna end the video. I don't have to talk about anything anymore. Alright? Because it's already 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I've already shown you guys the Borkler that hasn't been nerfed, hasn't been addressed, nothing, but it's the best Borkler in the game. So, it kills 15 points of stats, almost guaranteed. It's a 1919, it's a 2020 basically. And it killed 15 points of stats. 35. That's 35 points. And it's a neutral. So it's not 35 points. It's the biggest number we have ever seen. By far, unbelievably impossible to beat anymore. 52 plus Denathrius is fucking here next to this piece of shit. Holy fucking moly. And this has been terrorizing the game. It just literally says, win the fucking game. Bro, that's what it says. Until it got nerfed and it doesn't win the fucking game anymore. Holy shit. I don't even understand how to evaluate Denathrius. We have to pretend it deals 20 damage. To everything. And you heal for 20. That's 10. 20? And some of it goes face, and your face damage doesn't fucking matter somehow. I don't know, bro. But literally, it just wins the game, though. You just wait long enough, and you win. So 20 or 30 plus 10. Cool. It's like a 40. Alright, so Denathrius is even higher on the list, and everyone had to play it. Everyone's. These two cards, my friends, are already 112 points. There's so much more to this. So much more. The relics also count as Borklers. It's just all hidden somehow. It's unbelievable to me. Oh, it's what is that? We have broken the record, and I said like, oh, it feels good until turn 9 and turn 10, boys. Just back to back madness, assault, man, assault, right? Just fucking nuke has been launched, rocket launched in your face, boom, every single turn, boom, boom, boom. Try to dodge this fucking cancer. So, everything else seems normal. Unfortunately. Again, the Taupier gets introduced. So, Taupier... Technically, it's like a 15. I'll give it a 15. It's pretty difficult to, like, navigate Taupier and build a deck around it. And this one... I'll give a 10. Actually, I'll give a full price, bro. So this just shoots for a lot. All right, this shoots for a lot. But let's see, everything is like at 4, so it's 8. But it's still pretty weak, right? It's random enemy as well. It's like a 6. It doesn't feel like a Borkler, right? So I can't add it in here, even though it sort of is a Borkler if you double the battle cry or something like that. So, yeah, Castle Nathria is rivaling the Valley. And you can see the difference is pretty fucking tremendous. The power creep of Borklers alone is pretty insane. Mean Street's barely, you know, shot up here, made a bump. A little questionable existence for Mean Streets. But everything else, past the SCHOLOMANCE Academy, I have no No description for that. Alright? So I praised Castle Nathria a little bit in a wrong way. I take it all back. It's still a terrible expansion. In fact, it just never stopped. At this point, things never really stopped. But now, I mean, this is fine. Not the worst thing I've seen. So, man, everything depends on BOARDCLEARs. And if you forget about the main 2 BOARDCLEARs from the neutral set, of course, the game looks like fine. Of like, what, just Mage Hand BOARDCLEARs? Nah, bro. Nah. Okay, also just the synergy alone, right? Even though you would technically not play SIRE Denathrius and the other Infuse card, but you kind of should. You just kind of should. So the bonus, I think, puts it over the top and makes a new, you know, record. It's just bullshit, man. These 2 cards were bullshit. Luckily, SIRE Denathrius is nerfed. Does that mean it shouldn't be played? Probably not. It should still be played. It's just people want to, like, move on and forget the past as much as possible. But it's very difficult to infuse. It's now more spell-oriented metagame, but, you know, we tend to, like, get away from cards that have been nerfed, I guess. Do I actually have Denathrius? I think it's a free card, right? Yeah, it's uncraftable, free card. I'm not sure if it's playable. It looks fine to me. It's just like something people would overlook now. Like dealing 10 damage, healing yourself up, even if it's a 10 drop. It seems fine. It seems more of like a in tune with the Astalor kind of stuff. It's just not flexible enough. It's a dead card, but you just have to pack in enough card draw or whatever. Doesn't seem that bad to this day. I'm not sure why I haven't seen this card ever, but I'm not sure exactly what the sentiment is for doing that. Oh boy. I mean, I should finish this. It's gonna be 3 hours though. What the fuck? I just kind of have to finish this. This scan server. Titans. Pretty scary stuff for Titans, obviously. That inspired the whole thing, pretty much. I could leave some suspense for the next episode or whatever. Yeah, the Death Knight. It's a different enemy entirely, basically. Or I can just do it in the background and just kind of give you the teaser stats as well. I don't know. I'll just move on with my life. I got what I wanted. Hatred for Hearthstone. That's what I got. Again, because there's not a lot of like BOARDCLEARs in general, it didn't felt like a big deal. The Castle Nathria thing, like everything else where you just like they just vomited out BOARDCLEARs. And somehow it's just weird, like it goes up and down, right? It keeps going up and down. Castle Nathria was actually an up from Sunken City. Was an up. But now it's just like, or they just filled in the gap. You know, they just normalized it recently. I don't know, man. This is pain. Because the problem is, with BOARDCLEARs, when they keep going up in value, is that is what's creating impossible board states of like, you just can't build a board anymore. You're not allowed. You're gonna get wiped out. You have to wait and keep track of BOARDCLEARs even more intensely. You have to play around them even more intensely. And sometimes you're just gonna get jinxed by a fucking Devourer or a SIRE Denathrius even after he got nerfed. Because it's still a really powerful card. What is the value of nerfed SIRE Denathrius? That might be a very interesting question, right? Right now, the nerfed Sire Denathrius is 10 plus... It deals now 10 damage, heals for 10, so like 15. Still has lifesteal, so technically plus 5 anyways. It will still heal you most of the time while your opponent is trying to kill it. 30. 30, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's a 30. No? Is there more to it? I don't see it. But then it's double and buffed by all the other neutral Borklers next to it. So we just barely got, you know, 17 points away from it. In fact, I didn't add... It probably is worth like 70 points or something. Because it has lifesteal by itself. It's just, you have stolen so much life that it doesn't matter anymore. So I just... But this one does matter. The nerfed version does matter that it has lifesteal. So, because you don't fully heal. This is so stupid, bro. I can't. So, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna finish this. And I will cry. Soon. That I can't play the game for an obvious reason. I just don't know how detrimental to the game these big numbers are. I just know it's just impossible to play around this stuff anymore. It's just pain in the ass. If it's such big numbers, like you have to like play tokens and just bait Borklers, or you have to rat out the Borklers. You have to like do some twisted nonsense to play around that. I don't even know, bro. This is so scary to me. Oh, what the fuck? So it's almost like it's better to build a BOARDCLEAR class instead of playing around Borklers. It's almost better to be the bad guy in the end. That's my conclusion. See you guys next time.